Kia ora, good evening. Weather conditions have led to further cuts by Fonterra with milk volume forecasts drying up. Fonterra Cooperative Group has reduced its milk volume forecast for the 2014-15 season by 3.3% because of dry weather. Fonterra said dairy milk production is now 6.1% lower than the same time last season and says farmers appear to be using more traditional practices to manage their farms following a lower payout forecast. In December, Fonterra slashed its forecast farmgate milk price for this season by more than 44% to $4.70 per kilogram of milk solids from last year's record high, which is expected to reduce dairy industry incomes by more than $6 billion. Meanwhile, Fonterra is blaming human error for missing a deadline, which meant Fonterra failed to apply in time for licences to import New Zealand cheese into the US this year. Fonterra will instead be using other New Zealand cheese licence holders to meet US cheese orders. The company says financial impact is limited and 2015 sales won't be affected. The sale of Blue River Dairy's sheep milk processing plant in Invercargill will see a significant expansion in the plant from foreign investors. Chinese company Blue River Nutrition HK bought the processing plant for an undisclosed sum and already has plans to invest up to $40 million in new development. The new company will continue to process Blue River milk as part of the sale, with Blue River, who will concentrate on expanding its milk production on farm to meet growing demand. Blue River says significant expansion of commercial sheep milking on Southland farms is likely to come from the new arrangement. The future of Invercargill's Rugby Park is being put into the hands of the city's residents this week. The Invercargill City Council is inviting people to have their say on whether ratepayers and the City Council will adopt the debt currently owed by the Southland Outdoor Stadium Trust. Sharon Rees has more.
A report presented to Council last week says if the city loses Rugby Park, the Southland Stags may go with it, and the Invercargill City Council may be its only hope. Debt incurred by Rugby Park owners, the Southland Outdoor Stadium Trust, has reached almost $1.5 million, and the City Council may be looking to pay that debt and take on the park as their own.
The council have been working closely with the other key parties that are interested, and it's not so much a matter of wanting to take over debt, but it's looking at how we can help the outdoor stadium survive into the future if we can, and if the ratepayers want that to happen. The community will be able to benefit because it is a great outdoor facility, and hopefully this way we'll be able to encourage new users and use it to its fullest.
Are there possible risks involved in taking this over?
There's always going to be possible risks involved in anything, and that's why we're going out to the community to find out what they think and whether it is something that Invercargill want the council to be involved in.
Why is it just Invercargill City Council looking at taking ownership of this? Have you been approached by any of the other Southland councils?
We haven't been approached by any of the other Southland councils, but that's something that our council at least would like to look into in the future. We do believe it's a regional facility.
The City Council was holding a consultation meeting this week to discuss proposed options for the stadium with the public.
We're not actually looking at making a presentation at that meeting. What we're doing is opening it up for anyone that's interested to come in and talk to myself or some of the other council staff members, ask the questions that they want to know before they put in a submission.
So how important is the public say in this process?
It's extremely important. The councillors really want to have the public input before they make any decision about this facility.
We spoke to some Invercargill residents today who had mixed feelings about the council taking ownership of the stadium.
I don't think it'll ever close. I think our community funders will come to back it. It's all a bit of a take-up and a storm, if you ask my opinion.
Do you think the council should take ownership of the Rugby Park and its debts?
Yes, I do.
So having the Stags and the ITM Cup is quite important to you?
Absolutely, yes. I think it's part of our community and a part of our wider development as a province, and it's very important.
And you're happy for that to be ratepayer funded?
I think it should be a mixture of City Council, Community Trust, the ILT.
Yeah, I probably would in terms of keeping it open, yeah, if that's what it takes, yep.
So the Stags and the ITM Cup are quite important to you for the community?
Yeah, I think they are, yes.
And why is that?
It's part of our identity in terms of having that Stags team, and it also, the events are a great opportunity to get kids involved in rugby, yeah.
Seems quite a liability for the council to take on, yeah.
Well, it's $1.5 million in debt at the moment, and they would be taking on that debt as well. And there's a possibility that it could be ratepayer funded. Would you be happy with that?
Not really, no.
Would you be happy with that if that was ratepayer funded?
No.
No. So the Stags and the ITM Cup don't mean a lot to you?
Well, they do mean a lot. Those guys that ran the stadium before, they should be made to do something about it, not the ratepayers.
I think it'd be all right for a start, but yeah, it sort of might be better in private hands eventually.
Right, and is the Stags and the ITM Cup quite important to you?
Not really.
So you don't think it's important for the community at all?
Not to me, it's not important, but the community spirit, it's important, yeah.
So do you think that it should carry on in Southland?
Yeah, it'd be a shame to lose it completely, yeah. But yeah, I don't think the council should be funding it forever.
No.
And why is that?
Because I'm not a rugby fan.
Right, so you don't...
No, I don't go to the rugby and I don't watch it, but I don't feel that it should be ratepayer money at all. I mean, we've got better use, really, for the money. The sport body should be self-funded, you know, and are we going to have to pick up everything? If we start with that, where does it end?
The consultation meeting will be held this Wednesday between 4 and 6 p.m. at Rugby Park. Public submissions must be received by Council by February 13. Sharon Rees, South Today News.
Coming up on the bulletin, record crowds to weekend events, plus where's your favourite waterhole? Welcome back. A new survey was launched today to get a clearer picture of recreational use of coastal and fresh water in the south, including favourite spots and spots avoided. The survey also hopes to provide insights into whether water quality is better or worse than previous years. Results will be used to support existing sampling programs and give information and risks factors to bathers and others having fun in the water.
Swimming, kayaking, fishing, rowing, you name it. It's pretty much what people just getting in the water, basically.
And what type of information are you gathering from the people in the survey?
So we're trying to get an idea of where they're swimming, because that's quite important in the sense of we've got a program, but we've got sites for sampling. Are they the right places? So that's really important. And also trying to, not just their favourite site, but you know, they're probably going to a few different places, but also how often and what periods, because at the moment we've got a program where we're going, basically what we're saying is summer, so it's December, beginning of December through to March, and is that capturing it too? So it's thinking about that too, because there's a lot of activities that may happen outside of summer too, so it's trying to get a sense of that, where, when, why, basically.
It's constantly about trying to improve the water quality for the region as part of this as well. What about areas that have traditionally been a good swimming place, but due to perhaps dairying or the water quality aren't featuring? Are you trying to capture that information too?
So we are trying to get a sense of how things have changed, and if people aren't swimming in place. So part of it is where are the best spots and where are the worst spots from people's point of view, and those worst spots, why are they not swimming at those worst spots? And is it because things changed? Is it because there's a discoloration or a smell, or you know, it just doesn't look safe, or for whatever reason? Trying to capture that information so it can give us more of a sense of why that might be happening. To get to the next spot, I mean, it's really the start. So we've got a bathing program, but if it's in the right spot and we can capture the right information, we start getting into the place of is it a problem, and if it is a problem, why is it a problem, and we can keep working at that and try and make improvements.
You're going to be offering some incentives to people, because of course the key to a good survey is having plenty of participants. Yeah,
that's right. So we really want to get this survey so people really put in, because that'll be really, so we can do the best job we can, because that's really based on the information we can get. So the incentives, we've got 5 prizes of $100, and it's if people put their information in and leave those contact details, and we're going to pull those names out of a hat, and then there'll be those prizes.
The survey launches today. How long is it online for?
So it should be online for the rest of the summer, basically, so going to the end of March. And if you go to Environment Southland website, that's one place you can go. So just do a search for that. It'll be on our main page. There'll be a link, so you can do the survey online. But there's also going to be survey hard copies as well that are going to be in places around the region. So look out for those, and there should be some directions of where they'll be on the website too. So they'll be really good if people could just put in for that.
It was the fire-juggling, human knots and often stomach-churning stunts which drew the crowds to Wagner Place at the weekend. Thousands turned up to watch the 6th annual Southland Buskers Festival, which entertained in the city from Thursday to Sunday. Organisers said up to 40% more people joined the festivities over the 4-day event, making this year the biggest to date. Crowds were treated to 13 different performers from around New Zealand, Australia and the US, who each had a wide range of acts for people of all ages. Event organisers said plans for next year's festival are already underway, and Southland should expect a brand new show for 2016. And it wasn't just street performers drawing crowds over the weekend, with thousands heading to Edendale to enjoy some of Southland's oldest machinery. The 28th annual Crank Up weekend was a hit with Southlanders, with around 6,000 people through its gates. A wide variety of vintage machinery was on display from Edendale's own Vintage Machinery Club, as well as some steam trains, tractors and trucks which had travelled from as far away as Canterbury to join the event. Crowds overall enjoyed hours of family entertainment with parades, war reenactments and the event's newest addition, a demonstration from the Armed Defenders Squad. A welcome appearance from the sun and a smooth running weekend marked this year as one of the event's biggest to date. And that's all from us this Monday. Weather's up next, followed by sport. From the news team, good night.